morning, everyone. Good to see some people have come back and not everyone's kept away. Apologies for the early start. I'd just like to start off by acknowledging that we are on the traditional lands of the Turramurragal people and the Gamaragal people. I would like to pay our respects to their elders, past and present, and I would also like to pay our respects to any First Nations people who are here today or are watching these presentations online. Chris mentioned yesterday we had an alliance partner meeting about 3 years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago, and I don't remember what happened, but I do know that GDevCon was brought up, and I'm not sure what I said, but I'm reasonably certain that the inner cynic in me went, this isn't going to happen, but good luck to you. I'm sure I said something along the lines of, that sounds great, Chris, this is awesome, yeah, go ahead and organise it, it'll be fantastic. He contacted me again probably about a year ago, maybe 18 months ago, and said, look, we're going to get this going, which is great. And I said, fantastic. He said, are you happy to help? And I said, sure. So I volunteered Pete from Softwire Systems to help out. To be fair, it was probably a good decision because Pete had been to a GDevCon event in the UK, and he was far more passionate and enthusiastic about it than I probably would have been. So thanks, Pete, for doing that. Softwire Systems is really excited to be part of this event. We're delighted to be able to sponsor it. We're extremely happy that you decided to have it in Sydney. It's a little bonus for us. So it was really a no-brainer for us to sponsor it. I think you've done a wonderful job, the organising committee. So thanks to Chris, Kurt, Karina, I'll make sure I get these right, Brett, Stephen, Michael, and Pete. If I've missed anyone, I'm sorry, but well done. And thanks a lot for your efforts to get us to this point. Softwire Systems, who are we? What do we do? Well, we say that we provide systems integration services to Australian engineers to help automate their processes. You guys know all this, LabVIEW, Testan, and iHardware. I don't need to explain too much about that. Most of our clients are in manufacturing, so we help them to design, build and integrate production stations, and these can be test stations or assembly stations. Sometimes they can just be simple kiosk applications. And the reason we have those kiosk applications is often we provide data management services as well through a cloud-based product, which we call Beams. We have historically sort of built these production stations from ground up, got mechanical engineers in to help us. There's usually some NI product in them. Increasingly, these days, we've done a lot of work, I mentioned this yesterday, with a company in China who makes this all-in-one product with a laser camera, 3-axis motion, a really good gantry system. It's integrated with conveyors, got all your safety. It's semi-S2 compliant if you need that. SMEMA is a standard for daisy chaining these machines next to each other. We've used this on a couple of projects, and it's really good because you've got this all-in-one machine with all this stuff integrated and ready to go. You just plug in your process, and you can get something out the door quite quickly. If you've got a production stations need where you require motion and vision, part loading, all of these things, and you want to build it from scratch, and we've seen this with other companies here in Sydney, it can often take many man-years to get something like that done. There's a lot of work getting all those components integrating with each other. And so the fact that we're able to offer this sort of off the shelf, ready to go, as I say, you can plug in your process and get it all done. And we've seen that being used for metrology systems, for some basic pick and place systems, really dispensing systems, glue dispensing, 3D printing, plasma dispensing. We've seen some opportunities for that with things like laser trimming and other additive and subtractive manufacturing for PCBs and the like. One of the clients who we've done that with is Surfex. I talked about them yesterday. We provided engineering services to them since our inception. They have a really cool plasma dispensing technology. That's their flagship product, the Atom Flow. That screen there, that's actually a LabVIEW application. That's one of the applications that we support that's over 15 years old, originally written in LabVIEW 8 or 9 or something around that time. We've managed to push that up to LabVIEW 2011 and 2014 and some of the newer ones, which is really cool. We obviously trying to replace that with something a bit more modern, but we're finding that their systems, which are used all around the place, we're now plugging into those larger systems that I talked about, and that was that application, which I showed you yesterday. I talked a little bit about our cloud-based offering. So, we can build these production systems, we can give them to manufacturers, and under the same roof, we can also offer the data management services around that. So we have a product called Beams. Some of you guys might know our cloud engineer, Mark Janos, who used to be a LabVIEW developer. Very funny guy. He came in one day and said, "Oh, we did this MES and it was really good, and it's the best ever MES we've ever done." Hence the name Beams. The best ever MES, according to Mark Janos. It's based on Microsoft Azure, which means that we don't have to worry, and our clients don't have to worry about security and uptime and data residency. They get all the plug-in integrations with their Microsoft infrastructure. It's a pretty cool product. There's some more information about that if anyone's interested. But we're finding that having the ability to have now we have a cloud development team, means that there's a range of offerings we can give where people are coming up to us and saying, "Hey, I've got this LabVIEW application which is going to sit in a lab, it's going to sit in Perth, it's going to sit in Malaysia or wherever, and we want to, we want to be able to remotely monitor it because people are working from home, or we want our clients to be able to use it. How can we do that?" And we're finding that the best solution to ensure we have those things around security and uptime, and in some cases data residency, is making sure that you leverage all the abilities of Microsoft Azure. So what we actually do is we have a virtual instrument in the cloud, and we use that in the Azure ecosystem. We can use that to trigger events, which is handled by the LabVIEW application in the lab. And one of our very talented engineers, Alex, will be doing a presentation on that as one of the lightning prezos just after lunch. I'll finish up now. This is it. Enough spiel for me. We have a reasonably strong firmware team. We have a lot of mechatronics engineers who work with some of our existing customers like Surfx, but also doing some really cool stuff with startups. One of the coolest projects we're working on at the moment is this basal body ring from a company called Femtech. It's designed for ladies. You wear it at night. It keeps track of your cycle, and it's used to allow them to manage their fitness and workout goals. There's a lot of discussions these days around women's sport and injuries happening at different times in their cycle, and this is all part of that sort of. It's not new technology. I mean, it's been around forever, but being able to actually capture the information and get that information to athletes is really quite important. Some of you might have known the work we've been doing with Briometrics, originally around wheelchair fitness, but now more focused on the data collected by wheelchairs for footpath mapping and used by councils. That's another very cool product we've been involved with for a while. I won't take up any more of your time. Thanks very much for attending. If you've got any questions about me or any of the team, we're wearing the Softwire shirts. We're not hard to find. It's great to see so many LabVIEW enthusiasts here, and I'll hand over to Mike. Thank you very much.